Hello. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pick up where we left off this morning with some base sculpting, base creation. These are glued down nice and solid. We're going to get these other ends attached. Oop. Let's see. Let's have her standing a little bit more like this. Let me actually put the cross in her hands too, so we can kind of see where that's going to all line up. Basically right there. Okay. Now, kind of make a mark here. Hello, Manuel. How you doing? Okay. Set that down. Okay. Hold on. Emergency husband job here. Okay, the missus could have done it. I just have the drill. Just a drill hog. Don't I have a small screwdriver? Flathead though. What the heck? The small screwdriver?
Yeah.
Yes.
And can you help me?
What?
I accidentally got tape like this.
Oh.
I'm trying to...
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Screws don't want to come out. Ah, there we go. There. Good. The bat. Did it? Are you sure? I mean, I didn't hear any noise. What's up, Leonidas? I have to double check. Because I'm unsure. Yeah, you're right. Huh. Woo! There we go. The crowd goes wild. All right, it's done. Finished.
Thank you for the best sculpt.
You're welcome. Have fun. She's like, ooh. It makes noise. All right. See you later. Okay, so, oops. We need to put some screws in here. Not sure what size. 2. It can be a little bit bigger than that. Might be too big though. Oh, those ones are probably good. Oh, that one's gone. 1, 2. Let's drill a little pilot hole first. Yes, the brain reading algorithm is paying off. Yes, we were expecting you. What's up, Captain Pugwash? How you doing? Oh yeah, certainly. That's just the truth. Hello, Signa. Have I changed my stream time? This is quite late for me. Used to be on. I am. This is my second stream for the day. I do 2 streams a day, Monday through Thursday. Like a morning and an evening schedule. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna place these.
Closely, traveler, to what I say.
Rockets.
Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
How may these hands be of service to you? Sprockets, thank you so much for the 27 months. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? How's it going? I need some steel stick now. There's a part of me that might fear that we don't have any. Well, that would be unfortunate. Not where it normally is, unless it's tucked away somewhere else. Trying to navigate live. How's that going? I think I'm. Oh, right here. Ah, plenty. Just in a spot I'm not used to it being. Saved. Day is saved. Ah, very good. How'd they wind up there? Oh, you know, the missus is getting in here and tidying up a bit. That was probably one of her moves. All right, let me grab a glove here. Ina underbus. I think it's finally time to change this blade here. Oh, okay, cool. Very nice. Yeah, I liked how that effect turned out. Really, it read well. Cut the end off here. Okay, we're gonna do... I think the way we did this last time is we do 1 foot at a time. It's too hard to try to do them both, so we'll just kind of cut this stick in half here. Question. Answer. Yes. What is your question? How may I be of service? Oh, yes. Yep. So, yeah, USPS is just the normal post office for us, and it transitions to your normal post office, too. There's like so you can use the same tracking number and just punch it in on your end, and it'll track past the border, so. Is this a commission piece from a CEO, a company? No, this is for an individual. Yeah. Kinda. Okay, now we got this mixed. We gotta move really quick here. Put that on there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the notches into the brass. Oops. Hope they don't go on strike again. Yeah. Are they on the edge of doing so? Hey, thanks, Leonidas. That was with Polymer Clay Week. Yeah, they want to have me back for the next year's convention. This time to teach a class. I want to, just having a hard time saying yes, knowing that I will be there at that time, you know? Lucy, yeah, Lucy's awesome. She's doing big things for the polymer clay community over there. Let's go a little bit forward, actually. To just hold this till it sets. Yeah, I mean, in the future, if you want me to ship through someone else, just let me know, and I can make that happen. UPS or FedEx. It's just gonna cost more because those companies typically cost more than the route we went. Okay. Now, on this next one, we're actually going to score the brass, so that way the brass won't want to slide out here. Hizo. Hello. I will show you. I'll show you what we're making. This is the character. I mean, she's a part right now. We're actually right now we're hooking up the base. We're getting her hooked up to the base, and then I can show you once that's all set up. Here's her head. It's hard. That's already hardened. Hello, Patricia. Let's see how this does. Let's see how this holds. Let me grab a lazy Susan here, because I'm. Okay, set this down for a minute. We mix the other half. Oh, wait. Score the brass first. Hey, what's up, eggs? How you doing, my friend? Okay, slide this on here. Now we mix this. Yeah, we're grooving it so it will adhere to this better. This compound, this is called steel stick. I'm sure you guys use something similar where you're from. It's a steel reinforced epoxy putty. Essentially, we're making the character nice and sturdily detachable from this base here. Okay. Just wait for this to harden. Should be kicking off any moment here. Yeah, it's because it is. Kill Hazel. All right. Well, it definitely kicked off. Harry. Hello, Harry. I notice you. I notice you are here. Someone else. So it was somebody else from Canada. It was some other blue texture. Those blues, I tell you, they're all the same. Oh, it's blue on my screen. It's probably different on your guys' screen. Those blue chatters. Blue namers. Alright, let's see. Let's get everything on there and see if we need to bend to adjust the stance. Get all the weight going here. Could see us still needing to move her forward. She needs to lean forward more. Okay, let's grab. Aha. Fix her hair. Ah. No, I'm not trimming the tubes. We're still adding more material here. This is just, imagine this is like the foundation. This is where we know it's not going anywhere, you know? And then we're gonna add some more material on top of this. Let's see, let's do this one. It's not, it's rubber solid, not rock solid. Even better. It's flexible like rubber. See how it has a bendability to it? Okay, so our next step is we're going to take sculpt a mold and some rocks and stuff and create kind of a little bit of a scenic base here to go at the bottom. Yeah, this gets painted once we're done with the sculpting, which we're about to do the last step of, and then we can actually move on to the painting phase. That's right. It's more durable because it bends. That's right. Exactly. It will bend instead of breaking. Rubber is more durable than granite, than stone. Technically. Okay, so let's get what we need here. With this. So we're gonna make her base with something called sculpt a mold. Rubber is more durable than scrambled eggs. That's true. That is true. Scrambled eggs aren't really that durable, to be honest. I wouldn't trust the durability of scrambled eggs for much. So these can be dropped, yes. They can. They can survive a drop. But just because they can doesn't mean we should, right? I'm not going to be doing any drop testing here. Later, huh? Good enough. All right, we got this. We got this stuff right here. This is called Sculpt mold here. Sculpt mold. This is paper pulp mixed with plaster. And we need a bag of rocks, which I believe... Oh, yes, right here. A bag of rocks and sand. Yes, check. We also need... a little bit of... whatchamacallit? Spanish moss. Spanish moss that is neither Spanish nor moss. That's what we need. It is just called Spanish moss. But it is neither Spanish nor is it moss. Okay. Something to stand on because I used to have a ladder in here, but we got rid of it because it was old. Let me go grab a chair. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I have everything. Let's see. Mixing stick. We got some Spanish moss and other random bits. I think I'm only interested in Spanish moss though. What else? What else? Let's check our Greeblies bin. Is there something? Add. Oh. Get some gloves on. Okay. Let me see. Let us take a gander in here, shall we? I think so. Okay. Maybe a grenade. Tiny boat. Oh, sorry. Nah. All right, I think we're ready. Oh. We will mix it here, and then we will apply it to base and fill it out. Oh. Nah, you know what, should be okay. Of course, I tied the bag nice and tight too. Take that, future cnotbusch. Okay. We're taking some of this. Basically, I'm gonna assess how much we need here and meticulously measure with my eyeballs. I'm gonna grab precisely the amount that we need. Slowly, as to not create too much dust. Maybe a little bit more. There. Close the bag. Okay, now add a little bit of your favorite sauce. A little bit. A little bit of chocolate sauce on top of the ice cream. Very good. It's a nice year. And then we add a little bit of water. Now this step's important. We want to add enough, but not too much, but not too little either. Just right. We gotta work quick here. Set that down. Get a little bit more water. Just a smidge more here. I promise you, you breathe in more dust that's damaging your body walking around outside than what I was just exposed to. Don't worry. I will survive. Or will I? Does anyone survive? Yeah, crack eggs. Crack eggs is definitely definitely worse off. All right, that's pretty good. Good consistency. Now we're just going to start applying it here. We got to move quick. So let's get it on there. Let's not get it on the edge of the wood, but we can sand it if we need to. Just would be nice to not create more work for ourselves. Okay. We're probably gonna end up creating more work for ourselves. Oop. You know, let's just grab it and just kind of mush it in there. Called Sculpt a Mold. It's basically it's plaster mixed with paper pulp. Okay. Now we work it. Now we can work it. Not much working time left. It varies, though. You know, this is a little bit of a wild card when you work with this stuff. Just gotta keep moving. We can also go do a second round if we feel like we need to. No, but it works because the natural kind of textures that this stuff leaves behind is exactly what we want. So it really doesn't need a whole lot of working time. Let's take a water here, brush. Very earthy, exactly. Yep. And that's push some stones into here. Couple of rocks. Oh, nice. That was definitely Clayton's fault. You guys saw that, right? Okay, we want to move him because we don't want his space to warp. Be okay. Okay, I need a brush now. So we can use one of these acid brushes. Perfect. Get some of the water here from the table. And we're just gonna brush it down. What's the wifey playing? Well, of course you saw it. You're the reason it happened. You get all the blame for that one. Yeah, I like how that looks. Oh, nice. Played my fair share of Lego games. They're always fun. It's co-op, Clayton. Why don't you join in? Yeah, you'll find out soon, actually. Soon. Classic Clayton. Okay, so let's see here. Basically just have to let that harden. I'm thinking about extending this a little bit though, around her front foot there. I have this conveniently placed table water for use. How far did it spread it? Didn't spread too far. Mm. Yeah, I just usually end up repeat killing my friend I'm playing with. Usually it's play with my like younger cousins and stuff. Like it becomes an endless like brawling match. Especially the Star Wars one, because you know, lightsabers and whatnot. Okay, so now we just let this harden And then I sand and clean up this piece of wood, stain it, and we paint. That's basically it. We can add on if we want different things. We can add on with glue. But we need this to harden first. So, let me move this out of the way and we will... This will probably take a couple days to dry. So we'll switch to something else. But first, let me go be right back, get some coffee, and clean up my mess. I'll be right back. Well, soldier dude. You think we're fancy folk around here with fans? We can just point on sculptures all day? You think this is... Do you think this is their... I'll just give Emma a palm frond and tell her to wave it in front of this sculpture for the next couple hours. That'll do it. All right. So, that's exciting. Means we'll be painting her next Monday. Painting. I'll probably do all the airbrushing here on stream, and then pass it off to the missus for the finishing touches and all that fun stuff.
Who goes there?
Hey. Turun. Turun, thank you very much for the host over there on Kick. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. What do you stream? What are you up to this evening? Hello, Nardo. I remember my brother collected Star Wars Legos. He had the AT-AT, AT-ST, basically all of them. They were pretty cool. Not to be played with. He put them together and stuck them on a shelf like a collectible, pretty much. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we were into Lego before Star Wars, but more of build our own type stuff. I remember I had this one that was like this underwater villain bad guy scene. I think that was their own IP. But we were really into just doing our own builds. We didn't do it with the Star Wars though. We had this one friend who was like the only child friend, you know. We were all one of five, and he was the only child, and he had this bin. He had this tower of bins. It was like a rolling tower filled with these clear bins, and each bin was a color, like filled to the brim with like green pieces or gray pieces, yellow. And oh my goodness, I remember we would just want to go hang out with him so we could play with his Legos all the time, me and my brother. Hey man, and you know, of course he was jaded by it and bored with it, but we were like, yeah, let's play Legos. We had a collection of, it was like a bin of Legos that was just one bin with all the colors in that one bin. This guy had a stack of bins. Each bin had just one color. It was just like sit there and build all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, really, Captain? Oh, I always loved building from my own designs and stuff. You know what? I just realized it's the same thing that happens when you get into, if you ever played Magic the Gathering and like building your own deck, you find one card that you're just like, wow, that's so cool, and you like design a whole deck around that one card. It was the same with Lego. You'd find one piece that was like, oh, that's cool. That could totally be like a windshield to a vehicle. And then you would take that one piece and you would start searching for other pieces to build off, of that one piece, yeah. I built a whole pirate ship out of Emma's Legos. Me and Emma get into some hardcore Lego session every once in a while. Yeah, the best is you get a bin of just used Legos, just mixed, assorted used Legos. Those are the best. The neighbor kid grew out of his Legos and gave his bin of Legos to Emma, and that always sparks a Lego building session. Fresh meat, fresh resources. Hey, Plank Walker. How you doing, my friend? Good evening, Plank Walker. Connects, yeah. We had a huge set of Connects that was a hand-me-down from my mom. My mom worked for she was a bartender at this it's like a Mexican restaurant slash like bar and grill. And the owner of that place was quite the wealthy guy. He had a lot of like restaurants that were doing really well. But he knew my mom had 5 kids back at home, and he would always give us his kids hand me down stuff. And one of them was it was the Connects, the like giant Ferris wheel, huge, like biggest set they sold. We had gotten that, and that like filled our coffers with Connects. I think to this day you can still find Connects pieces like just in nooks and crannies of my parents' house. Especially those little green pieces, you know, the little green ones. Open the coffers. Yeah, because of course we got it, and we're like the kids scrappers, you know, like this like nicely assembled Ferris wheel set. We probably played with it for like one evening, and then we're like, all right, scrap it, you know, tear it down for resources and rebuild what we want. And from, you know, it was just scavenged and turned into all kinds of crazy inventions and things. Orc style, yeah. rode around on the Ferris wheel one time, and they're like, all right, that was fun. Now let's break this down into raw materials and build what we want with it. It was almost better to get something like that from somebody else than to like buy it and put it together yourself, because there's like zero investment in the build. You know what I mean? Like, it's just material to you. You know, like when we got that set, it was like it was all put together and everything, and we were just like, it didn't take long at all for us to like start. Oh, let me just break this off here and use this. The advantages of not getting something new. Oh, nice. We had gotten our first computer from him as well. That was so cool, man. We got that, I think it was an old Macintosh computer. And it came with a box of, like, a cardboard box filled with, like, just various games and stuff. And one of them was Monkey Island. The Adventures of Monkey Island. Oh my goodness. What a magical thing that was. That big box of just computer games. Hey. Hey, Top. I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for popping into the chat. Sorry you had to wait. There's a lot of like bots and stuff on Kick, so I had to set a following requirement. Hey, Savs. Good evening. Oh, that's a good idea. Using connects for practical things. Oh, I bet there's a company out there that makes a special type of connects that's designed for that, you know? Like a multi-purpose, grown-up type material. Dentist work. I'm from America. These United States of America. Thanks, Top. I appreciate that. Yeah, see you later. Thanks for popping into the chat. And thank you for the kind words. So in this assorted box of Macintosh games, there's this one game that was like super old school that will like totally trigger nostalgia if I ever found it, but it was like this weird game where you're driving like almost like a very polygon shaped, like 3-dimensional car. It was super like basic, and you're like driving around on almost like a Tron-esque type of setting. That's the best way to describe it. And you just like kind of, it was like gotta be like one of the first like 3-dimensional games. And you could like, I think you could shoot. I just remember it's like super nostalgic because it was like one of the very first 3-dimensional type experiences. I wonder if I can look that up. If it wasn't that. Driving. Yeah, it'd be so hard to find. It was so old school. Oh, I do remember this one though. I think that was it's very similar. This game used to be so much fun. Stunts, was it called Stunts? You guys remember that one? I think I do remember this one. So this is the how it looked. Remember that one? I remember playing the heck out of that one. And now we know where the Cybertruck comes from. Design. That's straight up a Tesla Cybertruck. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Elon Musk probably played that game when he was younger. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to make this car. I always loved that car in that game. It was called Stunts. It was a super old school car game. I remember binging it. It wasn't that the one that had the loop-de-loop that was like super hard to like nail in the track? I think it was. Oh yeah, and then remember the game Rush? Remember that one? That was another driving game that we binged the heck out of. I think it was called Rush. Super like retro. There was this one map we would just go on and just like drive around and try to do cool jumps and stuff. And then you fast forward and I remember the first Need for Speed came out. Remember that? Need for Speed. It's so interesting to think about the progression of like games, you know. We've been on a non-stop ride of like someone defying what can happen, what's possible in a game, you know. It's constantly, that's where the nostalgia comes from, is these games that came out that redefined what was possible in a game. Have you played Burnout Paradise? Is that the motorcycle one? That's Road Rash. Yeah, I remember that one. Do you guys remember Yeah, Rush 64 stunt map. Yeah, that's right, Ben. There was always these games that someone else had, like a family member or a place you would go to. And it was like, that game was like so much more epic because you couldn't play it except if you were at this person's house. That was, Road Rash was that one for me. My uncle had Road Rash. And it was just so cool. I just wanted to have that game. Because you only got such a limited time to play it. So it was like always this like, it like elevated it in your mind. And another one, it was Toe Jam and Earl. There was this house we would go to every single 4th of July. It was like one of my parents' biker friends. They would always have a 4th of July party, and we would always go there. And they had Toe Jam and Earl on Sega Genesis. And I could only play it this one day, this one time out of the year. So I was like, just fascinated with that game. Didn't even get past probably the first level of the game. But every single year that we would go there, I would play it, and it was just like, finally, Toe Jam and Earl. So many unfinished stories like that, where it's like games you were fascinated with when you're younger that you just never finished. So funny, man. Those kinds of things don't happen much anymore, do they? These like weird little situations like that. I'm sure it does. It's just different for kids now. It'd be interesting to hear what those things are for the younger generation when they get older. What are those nostalgic moments for them? Are they when a meme gets popular or something? I feel like things move so fast for them, it's like hard to really get attached to anything. It's already moving on to the next thing. Oh, I'll never forget when we borrowed. There was a friend we had, not really a close friend, but like a, kind of a friend. And we found out his dad was like a super nerd. And he had StarCraft 1 for the PC. And we asked him if we could borrow it. And he said yes. And I remember it was the most glorious bike ride home. Like, yeah, we got it. Riding our bike with the game back home. It is. That was an epic moment. We went out, I remember going over to his house. This is a big, huge thing. Knocked on the door. Said, hey, can we borrow StarCraft? Just like completely randomly. Like, yeah, sure. Like, what? Really? Okay. Thank you. I never played Age of Empires 2 until... I never played the full game until like it was remastered. I still haven't even played through the full game, actually. But I got past... So we had a demo disc. Remember when they used to have demo discs with all kinds of little snippets of random games? We had... I think part of this box that we had inherited of random games, there was a demo disc in there that had Age of Empires 2. and it was the first mission with like William Wallace, and we binge played that demo, like not just like played it one time, like we played that demo mission on repeat to the point where we would like intentionally know what triggered the end of the mission and like avoid it and like amass a huge army and build a whole castle, and as limited as we could with what we had. But yeah, it was so funny. Again, super nostalgic game, but I never actually had the game. We just played the demo. I think another one of those was you remember Fusion Frenzy? I think it was on Xbox One. We played the heck out of that one as well, but only had the demo. We'd have to like restart it over and over again to like just milk out the demo. You'd only get like 2 like mini game plays before you'd have to restart. Oh, nice, Scorch. I have a very large amount of memories and nostalgic moments linked to gaming, but with not just gaming, but gaming with my like brothers. Maybe it's all coming back because actually me and my brother Corey started to play games together. I had fixed up my old machine, got it up and running again, and gave it to him for his birthday in November, and we started to do games together on the weekends. Brings back good old memories. Me and him started playing this like hardcore Minecraft game called Vintage Story. It's pretty cool. It took us all weekend to get to. We still don't have metal tools. You literally have to like build clay pots and like make a crucible like out of clay and kiln it. And you have to make charcoal by like burying wood, just like you make real charcoal. It's very realistic, and it's really, really, really hard. But yeah, that's been our new fix. Vintage Story. Anyone's into those like really meticulous type games like that, you would enjoy it. All right, we're getting close to be able to brush this, I think. So what's this? Burnout Paradise Remastered. Did I play that one? I can't remember if I played Burnout. Probably. I always remember Need for Speed, and then like Need for Speed Most Wanted, and all those earlier Need for Speed games. And then like Twisted Metal. Remember when Twisted Metal first came out? It's like, oh, fighting with cars, so cool. That's funny, Squirt. Yeah. You watched the series Twisted Metal? I didn't. I did. Actually, I don't think I did. Kind of ringing a bell, but I don't think I did. All right, let me. We're gonna brush this. Let me go grip some fresh coffee, and then we're gonna brush this down, and then we'll be able to do some small detail, and then get this in the oven as well. I'll be right back. Right. Probably one of my favorite eras of gaming was when we when they kind of started coming out with a lot of really cool RTS games. Yeah, that was always a iconic era. I have a lot of iconic gaming eras, but that was always one that we reminisce about a lot, me and my brothers. Like Command and Conquer Generals, remember that one? Or Battle for Middle Earth, the first one. What else was there? It was kind of a good era of RTS was kind of the main game type for a little while there, and there was a lot of cool RTSs that came out during that time. Of course, the popularity of that faded. So there's not really, I don't know if there's not really that many RTSs that come out nowadays. I actually had War of the Ring. That was before Battle for Middle Earth. I don't remember that one. We didn't play it. I missed that one. Do you ever remember going to the actual game section at the store? Where all the game CDs are, and just browsing endlessly there. And there was always those games that your PC couldn't handle. These epic awesome games. I always happen to have a PC that was like 2 clicks behind the status quo. So there was always this plethora of games that we just looked at the box art of and never actually got to experience. And I remember one of the ones that always stuck with me was the black and white. Remember that game? The black and white game? Where it was the white on one side and you flip it over and it was black, and it was I don't even know what kind of game it was. It just looked so cool. Never played it, never got to play it, but still have your copy of it. That was the one I was like, oh man. But you look at the system specs and it's just like, nope. Nah, I never played it. I just drooled on the box that you have in your possession. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember renting games for a week. I remember renting them for a day. Was it a whole week? Like an evening? Maybe it was just the weekend or something. I can't remember. Oh, what was that game? Yeah. It was a God Sim? Oh, really? Interesting. I remember playing a game like that. I feel like we only had 2 or 3 days. I don't think I don't remember it being a whole week for us. It was it felt like it was a day. You barely got to play any of the game before you had to bring it back. So you'd have to rent the same game multiple times to get anywhere. Which created a whole nother category of unfinished business from when I was younger in the gaming realm. I remember there was this one, I think it was for Sega. It was you were this chainsaw guy, with the ski mask, and you were fighting all kinds of like grotesque creatures of some sort. I can't remember the name of it, but that was one that we rented like 2 or 3 times and never really got far at all. Probably didn't even get past the first level. Hope that is not taken already when you go back to get... Yeah, right? Yeah, sometimes they would only have like one copy of a certain game. So funny, man. I just remember our parents always wanting to go get always wanting to go to the rental store to get a movie, and they knew every time it would end up being us begging to get a game instead. So mom and dad would get a movie to watch for themselves and then just get us a game. Kept us all busy. Blockbuster. Yeah, I never got into the game. I missed out on the game tournament stuff, but yeah, I've heard of people talking about really getting into the Blockbuster game tournaments. Gamefly? Really? They survived, huh? They adapted and survived. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's amazing how much of my younger years was so game focused. It was the campfire we all sat around, the proverbial campfire. I suppose there's always something like that. Yeah, it changes as you get older, horns. For sure. I think I find as I just don't need to play as much as like I would have in the past. Like I was like a fiend with some games, like especially when I was younger. Just couldn't get enough. But now it's like, it comes and goes in seasons. Sometimes I get into something and I really, I think the best use of game time is to use it to connect with others, like family and friends, Use it as a tool to spend time with people, which everyone can agree is a good thing. Speaking of games, we one of the games we play as a family a lot actually is Uno, the card game. And they've actually come out with a lot of variations of Uno that are actually really fun. We recently got one called Uno Liars. Plays just like normal Uno, but there's these certain cards that have a circle around the number. And you play it face down and you say, let's say it's green. You say green 7, and anyone else can call you out on a bluff. You can lie about the card and say green 7, but really it's like yellow 3 or something like that. And if someone calls you out, you have to flip it over. And then if it was a lie, you have to take your card back and draw a card. If it wasn't a lie, they have to draw a card. So it's actually pretty fun. It's a little bit like poker almost. Uno plus BS, yeah. So no matter what, the card that has the cards that have the circle around the number have to be played face down, even if it's the truth or a lie. You always have to play them face down. So it's pretty cool. And then you have a card. There's like a 0. If you play 0, everyone passes their hand to the left, or whatever the direction of play is. And then a 7 is you can choose someone's hand to trade with. It was so funny. We were playing and someone, I think Emma or somebody, played the card where we all have to trade hands, and I got Emma's hand. And the next card that needed to play was like a yellow card. And I was like, yellow 7, face down, Emma immediately was like, liar, because it was her. She handed me her hand, so she knew exactly what I had. Such fun. She didn't understand when we were trying to explain to her the concept of the game, that you actually, have to lie in the game, like the concept of bluffing. But she caught on real quick, and she's good at it. Thanks, Nardo. I think we'll brush on some texture here. Let's see if I can find. Should have a texture brush around here somewhere. Let's see. Around here somewhere. I'll just grab a new one. Yeah, right. That's the downside, right? You gotta have somebody to play with. Board games have replaced video games for me. I'm excited to get, I've been wanting to get Catan. It's one of my favorite board games, but I just can't, I cannot. Every time I pass by it in the aisle at the store and I see like the $50 price tag or whatever it has, I just can't do it. It's like, I really want to get it, so I'm just gonna have to find a used copy of Catan and grab it, because I just can't. I can't do the $50 for the game. Like, what? $50? Come on. I have a hard time putting down $50 for Catan. $50? I know. That's what I'm saying. Seems it like itches this part of my brain that's like, that's not right. That's not it. That shouldn't be that much. Can I get nice games on eBay? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Excuse me, sir, what anime character? This is not the anime character. The one we were working on earlier is, and I can't tell you who she is yet. This is actually a World of Warcraft character. This is a Draenei. Sorry about the title there, but this is a Draenei paladin. No more fun purchases for a long time. This is what you do, Captain. Just don't do the holidays, and then you can just do fun purchases throughout the year and not have to worry about it, see? Give it a try. Free yourself. Free your mind. Genius. There we go. Trying a texture here. Look, just give it a try. Try it 1 year. You know? You can just miss 1 year. That's how you know people are addicted to holidays. Just skip out 1 year. And everyone's like, no, I can't do it. Come on, try it. Just give it a try. How do you know you don't like it until you try? Maybe you'll like it. Break the addiction, break the cycle. Free yourself, free your mind. Bondage of holidays, quite burdensome. Every other year. But you can. Scorch, you can. Just make that choice. Just say, you know what, let's just take a break. Let's just not do it this year. Gotta do some detailing, huh? Two PlayStation 2s, huh? I didn't have PlayStation. That was always the neighbors had PlayStations. Let's see, my trajectory was for consoles was Sega Genesis first. What was after that? Dreamcast? I think it was Dreamcast. which I actually really like. There's a lot of cool games on Dreamcast. And then hey, I did it. You can do it. You can do it. Just be okay being the weirdo of the family. That's where true freedom lies. Once you're okay being the weirdo of the family, then you can really start ruffling some feathers, you know? Probably in most cases, we all are the weirdo of our families. I am cringe, but I am free. Freedom has a price. I heard it wasn't popular. Oh yeah, we loved the Dreamcast. I wish we had kept it. There's still some games on there that I would totally still play. And then it went Nintendo 64. That was my first Nintendo, N64. I remember I had the translucent green one that came with Donkey Kong 64. And that was actually the first console that was mine, that was like exclusively mine, not like the family one. Of course, we still all played it together and shared it, but I had supreme rulership over it. It was a great bargaining chip in this game of sibling politics. Great bargaining chip. I got the good controller. Yeah, we had the good controller. It was like the one that came with it, and then the bad one was like the extra controller that my mom bought from like GameStop or something. It was like some used huge clunky one that like just was super uncomfortable. I remember that. It was like this gigantic huge thing that like was like the worst to use. Jeez, Mom, why you gotta do that? Can't you just buy a normal controller? Mad Catz controller. Oh yeah, I remember Star Fox. Mm-hmm. I want to do a texture around the trim of this, but it's a specific tool. That's the one right there. Oh yeah, Zelda. Jeez, that was like the first. That was like one of the first tastes of an open world type game, you know, where you can like, what? You can just roam around and go wherever you want. What the heck? What is this sorcery? Zelda on the N64. Wait, wasn't that was on PlayStation, wasn't it? PlayStation 1. I remember staying the night at friends' houses that parents allowed them to have the first like granted GTA on PlayStation 1. You know, the above the like the camera looking down pixelated one. That was so cool. You would specifically set up like sleepovers with certain friends just because of the game selection that they had. All right, Mom and Dad, going to stay night at Jeffrey's house. Then there was the friend that had a golden eye. I remember some golden eye parties for sure. Staying up till like 2 a.m. playing Golden Gun. It was always that bunker map, you know, like where the outside's all like snowy and it's inside in all these like bunker chamber areas. Remember that. Slaps, or yeah, the big head mode. Big head mode with only rocket launchers on the map or something. Just pretty much every ridiculous combo. Possible. Does anybody remember playing Age of Empires 1 and being like super upset that the building sizes were like way too small? That like when the characters would stand next to the buildings, that it didn't like match up at all? I remember we wanted to play, we had Age of Empires 2, the demo, and would rather play that than play Age of Empires 1 just because of that detail. Like, these buildings are so tiny. This makes no sense. Oh yeah, for sure, Scorch. Well, I was one of 5, so there was allowance wasn't even a thing. If we wanted money, we had to go find it somewhere else. I did. I definitely did. I learned the art of trading services for some cash money pretty early. I had like 4 or 5 grandmas that I mowed the lawns for. My grandpa would give me the hookup. They would, they would leave $20 in their mailbox, and I would use their stuff. Just ride my bike to their house, mow their grass, collect my $20. That's it. Move on to the next one. You were one of 4. Okay, yeah, you know what's up. Like Valhalla walking into Blockbuster Music when you had your own money and no one could tell you no, that you couldn't rent something. trying to think. I remember that feeling of getting that paycheck rolling in, that's for sure. So, well, the first thing I did with my money is my first car I had to pay for. So my grandpa bought it, but I had to pay him back. So I paid him back. And then I had to pay for my own car insurance, which was insanely expensive. I think it pretty much took all my money, just to car insurance. Making $6.50 an hour, and then like 16-year-old boy car insurance. Oh yeah, mine was my first car cost $1,500 from a car dealership. So, I specifically remember the guy we bought it from had like a suit that looked like it was made out of like grandma's curtains. Like had one of those like really like cheesy pattern type suit, like the super bright, like overly bright smiles, you know, and like the slick hair, you know, like the classic sleazy car salesman guy. Of course, Grandpa took me there. Of course he did. It was probably the sleaziest car lot he knew of, but probably knew that the prices were low there. Bought my first car. It was a 1989 Chevy Lumina. It was born the same year I was. And I had nothing but problems with it, of course. From the day I got it till the day it died. But I did keep it. I kept it for like, let's see, 16, 70. It was probably like 3 or 4 years I kept it running till it finally I ended up it got so bad, it got to the point where like I had to climb in through the passenger seat to get to the driver's seat because the driver door wouldn't open. Like all these weird little things that it had. And when I turned 18, so from 16 to 18, I still had it. And then when I turned 18, I moved out to Colorado, and we towed my car out there with my dad's truck. Knew it wouldn't make the trip from Illinois all the way to Colorado, so I moved to Colorado to go to school. We towed it out there, and I drove it for probably about 2 more years in Colorado. Until finally it got to the point where it had an issue I couldn't fix myself. So, and I was always very resilient to taking it into a car shop or a mechanic. Because, just the thought of always getting like screwed over or something not getting fixed properly or something. But anyways, I finally took it into a mechanic, spent my last like dime getting it fixed, whatever the issue was. And literally on my way home from picking it up from the mechanic to the house, like black smoke was like billowing out of the hood of my car as I'm driving down the road, just like, So I pull over. I remember it was a Phillips 66 gas station. It wasn't even that far from where I was staying, my aunt and uncle's house. Pulled over, turned the car off, went into the clerk and said, hey, my car broke down. I'm not going to be able to, I have to leave it here. I'm not going to be able to come get it till tomorrow. And I'll come get, me and my uncle were going to grab it with his truck and just tow strap it back. And I said, is it all right if I leave it here? Is that okay? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. No problem. Blah, blah, blah. So the next day comes by and me and my uncle load up and go to pick it up. Car's gone. Lo and behold, the clerk that said, yeah, everything's fine, did not tell the next person that was working to don't worry about this car parked here. And that person just called the tow truck. Like, hey, there's this car here that's just sitting here and there's nobody here. And so I ended up getting towed. And I just spent my last dime getting it fixed, which obviously didn't work. It was still broken. And so now the tow truck people wanted like $300 to get it back. and I knew I'd be getting back a broken car that I'd have to fix. So I just at that point I was like, just keep it. You. It's your problem now. You can have it. And that's when I had to figure out. That's when I first learned public transit, and I started getting around on a bike. And that was actually some of the best years of my life. Was riding around the Denver metro area on my bike, using bike and bus to get around. It was pretty cool. Really enjoyed that time. I still remember the feeling though of like being like, what the heck am I gonna do? You know, this like feeling of, because I've always basically had a car since I was 16, and I was out, not, I wasn't like living with my parents or nothing. So like, what the heck do I do? I guess I'll take a bus. Definitely a lot of crazy stories learning the bus system, that's for sure. Denver metro bus system. An RX-7. Nice. Cars, what a racket. Yeah, for real. You're screwed if you don't have a car in my city. It's so bad. Well, between the biking and using the bus, I was able to get pretty much everywhere. And man, I was just really great shape because of that. Like I biked to work up like massive hills and stuff. I remember when I first started, I'd have to get off my bike and walk it up the hills because it was just killing me. But after you do that for a couple months, you start flying up hills. Like I could just crank my way up a really, it's Colorado, so it's got really crazy hills, hilly roads. I remember my route to work was uphill the whole way there, but on the way home, it was all downhill. So it was super nice getting off of work and just getting on my bike and just coasting home. Yeah, I borrowed my uncle's bike until somebody stole my bike while I was in a store. I didn't have a bike lock at the time with me, and so I took the front tire and seat off, and somebody stole it without the front tire and without the seat. Classic. Around that time is when I got my second car, which was the Saturn that got set on fire. I really haven't had that many cars. They were desperate. Yeah, I think they just had a truck and just threw it in the back of their truck. Yeah. Classic. Probably scrappers. That's my guess. It was funny. So I didn't have a car for like years, and my dad, one time I came home for Christmas time, and he had gotten a Pontiac Fiero to fixed it up to give to me. It was an old Pontiac Fiero, but it was in good condition. And these are like these small cars that have like the engine in the back, like a Ferrari, but they're like really tiny, and it's like basically like a poor man Ferrari. You're a dad now? Nice, Valencia. I didn't know you were pregnant. Congrats, man. Papa Valencia. Welcome to one of the best, most challenging things that'll ever happen to you.
To a land of great deeds
Hey.
and bravery. Thanks be to our recruiter for their wise choice.
Thank you very much there, Captain Scoliosis, for hooking up Valencia. Yeah, congrats, man. There's a cigar for you. Yeah, thank you, Captain. Appreciate it, my friend. Bailey Virginia Valencia. BVV. Little girl. All right, man. Hey, that's awesome. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of, for sure. Welcome to fatherhood. Get ready to change and grow just as much as the child will. It will happen. It's automatic. Yeah, for sure. Then they grow up. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever kick him out. I think it's better to just start charging rent and then take the rent money that they give you and put it into.
Loyal friend, you've made a real impact on the realm.
Let them stay with you as long as they want,
Contributions.
and then just charge them some rent. You know, like it's cheaper than if they were out on their own, but a little bit to give some responsibility, and take that money and put it into a little like savings account or something. And then when they actually do move out and start a life and get a place on their own, you can give that money back and say, hey, here you go. Down payment on your house. Steampunk Hummingbird, thank you so much for the 9 months. Fun. Appreciate that. Get your wisdom here. Bowl of bat. If your pack feels too heavy, it may be time to leave something behind. True. Unburden yourself. For sure. Sorry, Samwise. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think most parents are on the same page with that for sure. Most parents, not all. All right. Oh wait, we need to this trim line here. Yeah, well, you know, that's all right. It's good. It's good she has a mom and dad to lean on, you know. It's so crazy how we all split apart so quickly and like just everyone's carving their own place in this world solo. So I just think we need to get back to like you know, being like little villages when it comes to families, because it's so much easier to get ahead in life, you know. Other cultures in the world are still more like that, where they don't all split up and, you know, go their separate ways, basically. Move far away from each other. I always look up to my wife's family. They all live like in the same village. They live on the same street. There's her mom and dad in one house. The upper floor of that house is turned into another like house. That's where her brother lives and his kid and his lady. Then the house next door, her dad purchased that house, and my wife's sister and her 3 kids live there. And then like 2 houses down is my aunt's, or not my aunt, my wife's uncle and my wife's grandma in 2 separate, like same thing. They have like really big houses in Germany. They're like split up into little kind of like apartments almost. And then even her aunt is like only one town away, one village away, 1 or 2 villages away. It's just they're all really close and they just can all lean on each other and support each other. It's nice. Be like a big extended, yeah, exactly, Scarf. Yeah, exactly. They know what's up. Yeah, that's right, Valencia. Yep, now you're in the newbie stage. Back to level 1. This New Game Plus just started for you. Makes holiday travel safe and easy as well, right? Just go back to our pack mentality. Stick together like herds. Oh, just herding along. For the glory of the herd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get this in the oven. And on that note, I'm getting out of here. It's been a wonderful, productive Monday with you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be working on the chess set in the morning. And in the evening, we'll be starting a new project. One we had already done a sketch to prior, but we'll be getting into doing a portrait sculpture, which will be a challenge for sure. A challenge I am ready for. But yeah. Let's see here. First work day of the year. Get to work, Clayton. It's our 5 days into the new year. What have you been doing this whole time? Get to work. This guy over here. All right, let's see here. Congratulations there, Mr. Valencia. Great news. Sculpting. Spilling water. Yeah, what the heck, man. Let's see here. Who can I leave you with? Do. Let's go raid science streams. All right, my friends. Till next time. Bye-bye.